Hello everybody and welcome to the Forge World Open Day video. Oh fuck, nearly ran a red light. That's right guys, we're doing a bit of a car vloggage going on today. Once again you join me at stupid o'clock in the fucking morning. Why are these events, or why do I have to get up so early for these events? It boggles the mind. Wargamers are a nocturnal species.
Right.
Be quiet, Tom, I'm talking. So I'm up at stupid o'clock in the morning, off to Moggy's, because I'm actually driving to his, he's driving us down. But first, before we do that, we're going to get some Mackey's breakfast, because I'm absolutely famished, but I'm also on the lookout for cops as well, because apparently, because it's not a proper dash cam, I'm not allowed to use this. This blue tack to the dashboard kind of thing, kind of construct that I've got going on. But yeah, guys, I'm really looking forward to today. I have not seen a lot of the guys since Salute, and I got something in my eye. Speed camera. Fucking everyone knows my view on speed cameras, the bastards. But yeah, so I don't. Okay, why is everything? There's a cat that just ran in front of the road. Why is everything trying to kill me today? Everything. But yeah, so I'm looking forward today to see mainly the guys. I've managed to scrape a little bit of cash together to afford a few just some little things from Forge World, nothing massive. Although it's a case of I either get a few little things, or I pool my cash and just get one medium-sized thing. So I'm not actually too sure on that in that respect. So what I'm going to do, I have to see if anything can tempt me when I'm there. Because in the queue, I'll probably have a look through the catalogue, I'll flip through my phone, see what I want. Well, I know what I want already, but that'll be for a Forge World Open Day loot video. But more importantly, I'm actually looking forward to seeing what the Games Workshop HQ looks like now, because I've not been since it's been changed, since it's been altered. It's going to be interesting, and I will also get some delicious footage of the Hall of Miniatures, and I'm not sure whether I'll splice that in. I think I might make a separate video on that, because it's, oh piss, my camera's moved, that's what you get for blue tacking it on the fucking dashboard. And so concludes this section of the video, I think. If I can, no, I can rectify this, I can save it, to a degree, yep, there we go, no, fucking shit. Join me in a second when I have reattached the camera. No, Jojo, and that is what you fucking get for blue tacking a camera to your dashboard, like a silly fuck that you are. But yeah, so hopefully, well, it's going to do it again. No, it is. I can see the blue tack peeling off already because it's shit blue tack. Because the vibration of the car. But yeah, so the Hall of Miniatures, I'll put that into a separate video because it's just probably epic, apparently. I might even try and get some little interviews with some of the Forge World designers, and there'll be the usual, panning around the Forge World cabinets and seeing what cool stuff there is. Let's just let this guy past. But yeah guys, so join me in a second, and I will be joined by the amazing Moggy's Miniatures.
After
so guys,
400 yards, cross the road.
So everybody, we have arrived at Forge World Open Day, and we are currently stood, me and Moggy over there, are currently stood in the queue, and it's not as epic as I remember it last time. I remember last time Forge World Open Day, it was horrendous, the queue was. It was really bad. It was about 4 hours wait for the queue. I've got to admit that the place hasn't changed that much, the actual gaming hall which we're stood in. They've faced off that bit over there, which used to be the store. They've got all this stuff going on now, which we're going to have a look at shortly. All the entranceway is really, really cool. We'll go through that in a bit as well. I'll show you I'll give you the full guided tour. But one of the things as well, guys, is that I'm happy to announce that Bugman's hasn't changed. Which means that everything is right in the world. So guys, join us in a bit after we've got our stuff. Hey! I'm here with Trish, one of the master sculptors from Forge World, and she's going to just tell you a little bit of just some beginner sculpting tips and things like that. So Trish, take it away please.
Right, if you're going to start off, I suggest you use something like Fimo or Sculpey, because you can keep working on that until you make it, and you can make as many mistakes as you like. Start with a wire armature. If it's something bulky, to save money, save putty, wrap that wire armature with tin foil, raid your mother's cupboard, scrunch it as tight as you possibly can, and then build your putty on top of that. So you'll save yourself a shed load of money, you won't have to buy a ton of putty, it'll bake really well, the heat will go into the tin foil and bake from the inside out as well as the outside in. And then it's just a case of look at all the figures you like, look at what you want to do. Try and copy things. Do some, instead of starting off a complete new figure, do some conversions and some old ones so that you're not feeling too overwhelmed and too intimidated about what you're doing. I mean, is there anything else in particular about techniques, about anything?
I was just going to say things like when, like how to, things like tools and stuff. Like you don't need, I don't personally think you need mega advanced tools.
You don't. I have dozens of tools. I use 3. Go to your dentist. The next time you go to the dentist, ask him if he's got any old dental tools that he doesn't use anymore, because again, free.
That's what I did. I did that once.
Yeah, because they don't need to be particularly sharp. You can make them. You can make a lot of your own tools, just hammered wire.
Oh, you can even make them with green stuff as well, what I found.
Yeah, make them with milliputs or something like that. Yeah, make a tool to the shape you want it. The Perry twins, when they started, used cocktail sticks.
Who's that, sorry?
The Perry twins.
Oh, is he the I spoke to him a couple of years ago, yeah.
They use cocktail sticks. So you can use anything.
Absolutely fantastic.
You can go to Hobbycraft and they sell
like
fairly
wax.
cheap tools for female.
Yeah, like wax sculpting tools and things like that.
Wax sculpting tools. So you don't need to spend a lot of money.
Well, Trish, thank you very, very much. It has been a pleasure talking to you.
And you, dear.
And have a good one. Goodbye.
So we're currently on a mission to Moggy's car. I've got Elster Nation and Mr. Paul Ebry behind me. We're off to get Elster Nation's Caban machine that I brought. But guys,
the epicness of like monstrosity.
the epicness.
Like,
oh, I'm trying to get. I can't see because it's too bright. It's too bright.
Just what like
Yeah. Hey man. Hey. But yeah, guys. So, I mean, it's a bit more of a quiet turnout this time.
Yeah.
There's not as many people as last time. But what's been your favourite thing that you've seen so far?
I love the new towel thing. I don't think you've seen that yet. They've got a new towel monstrosity.
I'm halfway around.
Yeah, you guys haven't got round to it yet, but when you see it, you'll just go,
Will I jizz
like me-
in
me
my
sweats.
pants?
I do
This way?
definitely like me.
Yeah, there's Moggy's little car over there. But yeah, I mean, I'm only halfway around, so I've got more epicness to come, and I shouldn't come to these events because it just makes me spend money. Although I have discovered that 2 of the Forge World designers actually have seen my stuff.
Yes.
On my YouTube channel and on my Facebook page, so that's pretty cool. But it is also where they're getting their designs from, probably. So yeah. By the way, I do have a kind of selfie stick as well. Yes, I am one of those knobheads. But yeah. So anyway, join us in a second.
Sequence start. Sequence start. 30. 31. Sequence start. 31. 31. 31. Sequence start. 31. Sequence. Saying we're gone for auto. Sequence start. Saying we're gone for auto. Saying we're gone for auto. Auto sequence start. Auto sequence start.
Okay guys, so here we have the Macrotech engine sears, and these are an absolutely fantastic Forge World release. Not released yet, probably in the next 6 to 8 weeks, but here we have the genius behind them. This is Mr. Rob. So Rob, what is your inspiration? You know, what's your general thought process behind when you go and make something crazy and mechanicus like this?
Well, these are almost like working backwards, because you might remember we did the Silex, the combat automata a little while ago. Essentially, the Silex are a sort of a prescribed forbidden technology that just developed out of perfectly normal Mechanicum tools and devices. These are those examples of those tools and devices that would have been the earliest versions of them. These are essentially just servitor automata, which are used by tech priests and magos to, well, carry out generic tasks like fixing things. And sometimes
kind of like proto-servitors, really, aren't they?
Actually, they are pretty much exactly that. They're some of the earliest versions of servitors you might see. Occasionally, you might see them with weapons bolted onto them, so they've got a bit more oomph in the battle. But these ones here that we've done are ultimately pretty much what we think is a sort of a base level of servitors. They've got tools attached to them so they can fix damaged vehicles.
Like bits of spanners, welding torches, that kind of stuff.
Exactly. Eventually we're probably going to find ourselves adding new weapons to them and putting things like the rotor cannons and the Volkite options that are allowed in the army list. There's an absolute ton of things in the army list that we'll put on them. But yeah, really, it's like I said, it was almost working backwards for me, because we designed a Silex with a very strong unethical technology and eerie darkness to them.
They do look very, very grim dark, I must admit.
Yeah, it is true. And I wanted to, and because the background essentially reflects them developing out of standard technology, I wanted to try and retain as many design elements with these as I could from the Silex. I didn't want to make them look horrible like the Silex did, but I wanted to still have, you could see like the plates of the armour and
they look a lot cleaner.
Yeah, exactly, and that's kind of.
And I've got to say they look a little bit more friendly as well. Just a smidge.
Maybe that was unintentional, but to be fair, that's exactly the point. I think if you look at them and you think those don't look horrible and nasty, that's really the look I was going for. The Silex represent one of the early steps towards technology that would have been embraced by the Dark Mechanicum.
Yeah.
And these represent something that was used widely by all the tech priests and magos throughout the Imperium at the beginning of the Horus Heresy.
Cool. So when you're like initially designing these, like how do you go about starting off something like this? Because to start something like this from scratch is a feat and a half, I find.
To be fair, these and the Silex went through quite a lot of iterations of design. Originally, when I came up with them, I was planning to have them as tracked, just have them on tiny tracks, or maybe even sometimes have variations. So some of them are on tracks, some of them are on legs, some of them floated. Now, as I went on, I thought, well, the track thing, it wasn't really the aesthetic I was going for. The aesthetic I was going for was much more directly derived from guys like John Blanche, obviously.
Oh yes.
And I don't have any shame in
We are a fan of John Blanche here. Oh yes, definitely.
I don't have any shame in saying that looking at his design, his work, and his art from the 80s and the 90s is really what guided me to sort of come up with this concept of a tech priest maybe walking along surrounded by a little cloud of assistant servitors that are doing bits for him and basically doing stuff he can't be bothered to do, which is pretty much everything. But there's a piece, I don't know if you've seen it. It's kind of a yellow and black piece of art that's got I don't know what it is. I don't even know what it is. That's kind of what
I think I know the one that you're on about. It's yellow and black and it's kind of hunched over.
No, is he? Yeah, it's like a flying blob with tentacles just flowing out of its back, and it's surrounded by a little cloud of guys that ultimately I interpret as being something like this. Just his helpers that he's probably got a massive box of them back at the forge. But he just presses a button and they just jump into life, float out and just swarm around him, fixing stuff that he needs to. He's got his servo arms to do most of the work, obviously, but if he needs someone to hold something while he's doing it, like if he's got a tank that's got an armor plate needs replacing, you get 3 of these guys to hold it in place while he goes around and welds it.
Yeah. Just generic helper robots.
Well, and ultimately that's reflected in the rules, because the more of these guys he has, the more effect he has at fixing vehicles and doing all the good stuff. that he does.
So this went through. These guys went through a couple of iterations. What what did they? Were they radically? I mean, I'm talking about the Tech Priest mainly now.
Yeah.
Was he radically different, or was
the Tech Priest was a collaboration between Mark Bedford and I now.
Ah, right.
Mark is brilliant. Mark is fantastic. He understands the Mechanicum, I think, probably better than anyone I know, except for John, except for John Blanche. He's got thousands and thousands of ideas about just the way Tech Priests should look, and the way the Mechanicum hierarchy, and the way everything about them should look. I mean, he did the Mechanicum Myrmidons. You probably remember them.
Oh, they're beautiful. I might pick some of those up later.
I mean, but they encapsulate sort of the way I envisage a Mechanicum, a noble, sort of high-ranking Mechanicum guy looking. He looks like a guy in a robe, but ultimately underneath the robe there's probably just a load of tentacles and cables.
You can never have too many Mechandrites.
Exactly, or just a skeletal arm understructure which can have parts replaced onto it at his leisure. And this guy, I think, is maybe an exaggeration of that. He's got a very clear role. He fixes stuff. He's actually an engine seer rather than a battle magos.
Do you know what? I was just about to say, he does reflect the 40k engine seer quite a bit.
Yeah.
In what he kind of loosely looks like, which is really, really cool. I swear I got that straight away when I looked at him. It's brilliant.
That's cool. Well, yeah. To be fair, that is mostly his role, rather than being like a Myrmidon, which is specifically a cult of warrior priests.
Yeah.
His role is mostly going to be fixing things, and again, that's something that you see from the army list. You take him almost specifically with the intention of him being able to repair vehicles that are damaged and that sort of thing. So.
Cool. Well, thank you very much, Rob. It has been a pleasure talking to you.
Likewise.
Oh yes. Have a good day, Rob. See you now. Bye bye. So guys, after a long and tiresome day, I have returned, and this is the end of the video, if you hadn't guessed. I didn't get that much, well, I got a lot of footage, I got a lot of B-roll, which I wasn't intending to get. I think I got a little bit too B-roll happy with that. But I got, some decent footage on there. I want to say a massive thank you to the designers that I spoke to, and the designers that spared time in talking to me on camera and stuff like that, and I do apologise if I got any of you guys into trouble. I know you guys weren't supposed to speak to people, but do you know what? Things happen. But anyway, so some other stuff is coming out. The Hall of Miniatures video, that is definitely coming out. I'll probably work on that tomorrow after I've uploaded my loot video that I got, because I got some bits from Forge World Open Day, but I'll go into that in more detail tomorrow. But yeah guys, the Hall of Miniatures, the new Hall of Miniatures is just crazy, and nothing that you've seen or heard prepares you for actually what it's like, but I'll do more on that tomorrow, so stay tuned for that. A couple of little thoughts of the day. I thought it was a good open day. The people that I went with, fantastic. It was great seeing Moggy and Brian Templars Crusade and Elston Nation and Paul Ebry and people like that. It was an absolute pleasure to see you guys, as per usual. There was a lot more stuff in that open day that interested me this time. There was the Ordinatus, there was like some of the cool like tech priesty kind of stuff, and it was just great to have a look at some of the wedding production, and it was great to see the actual scales of some of those Warlord Titans. It was absolutely bonkers. However, I just felt it could have been a little bit better. I think that it felt rather empty. Now this is for two reasons. I think the first reason is because they only let 400 people in, as opposed to last time where they let shit tons of people in and it was rammed. Now also this is the fact that with the refurb they have increased the space in there an awful lot, so it felt a bit more open, a bit empty. The queues were brilliant, and to queue up to the actual main place, we're only there for literally in the queue for about 10-15 minutes. The queue for the Forge World bit was only again about 10-15 minutes, so they really did sort their act out on there. And it was cool because you can basically pay for anything you want at any till in the whole place, which is really, really good. But I just wish there's a couple of people that I wished could have been there, because it would have been nice to share the event with. It would have been cool just to have a few more people there, and we could fully go to town, chilling Wargamers style on the place. But anyway guys, so this is the end of the video, and I'm going to thank you guys for watching. I had a blast. I'll
Hopefully I'll do it again next year. I might even go to Warhammer Fest. You never know, guys. You never know. But yeah, guys, so thank you for watching this video. Like, favourite and subscribe. Also drop a comment in the doobly-doo down below if you see anything particularly cool that you like the look of. And don't forget to check out the Facebook group and the Tumblr because I do update those and that's a way of me interacting with you guys outside of YouTube. So guys, thank you very much for watching. I'll see you guys again. See you now and goodbye.